Hello everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of Dayspring Discussions. I'm your host Sean McGahee, and this is a show where we talk about movies, TV, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books. If you geek out about it, we're going to talk about it. You can listen to Dayspring Discussions on iTunes, YouTube, Podomatic, Patreon, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music. We're now on Amazon Music, guys, and you can talk to Dayspring Discussions through the social media accounts such as the Facebook group and Twitter account. Don't forget dayspringdiscussions at gmail.com, and you can find me personally, SlimDayspring12, on Twitter and Instagram. Well, hello everyone. Hope you all are enjoying this beautiful Wednesday here in Austin, Texas. Still a little too hot for me for October. I mean, it's 88 degrees, I think, is the high right now, and it's October. I mean, the high should be maybe 70 in my eyes, but I grew up in the Midwest, and by now it should be in the 60s, so I'm just not used to this hot weather. It's just too hot for me, but anyway, I'll adapt. And yes, I'm recording this show on a Wednesday. I've been trying to do shows on Saturday and publish them on Sunday, trying to get some kind of schedule going on, but of course, a schedule has never really been my strong suit when recording these podcasts. They're kind of at the bottom of my to-do list in regards to life. It's a hobby. I don't make any money off this. I do this because I love to talk about this stuff. I love to discuss it. That's why I do it. So I do it when I have the time. So that's why I'm doing it today, because I have the time and there is plenty to talk about. Yeah, last week I didn't feel like there was a lot for me that I wanted to really share my feelings on, nothing that I really felt really passionate about. So it was another reason for me not to do a show on Saturday and post it on Sunday. But then, like yesterday, a bunch of news came out that I wanted to talk about, and I have my day off today, so I figure out good a time as any to get this done, over with, and share my feelings. And then, of course, you guys fire back on the social media groups, Gmail account, comment on wherever you're listening to down below. Now, today, of course, is Wednesday, which means it's New Comics Day. So go to your local comic book shop and pick up some of your favorite issues or favorite series for that. Or, of course, you can head online and read them digitally like I do. I started to read some of the comics this week. I'll probably go through some more later. But Batman was kind of interesting to this week. So if you know what I'm talking about, Batman issue 101 seems there's going to be a little change to the status quo in regards to Batman. I'm not sure how much I really believe that, because with these comic book characters, you really can't change too much from the status quo. They never stray that far. So I don't know, but it just seemed a little interesting that if they go the route that the issue says it's going to go, could be a different change for Batman. So check that out, guys. And the rest of the comics, I'll get to later on, of course, whenever I get to them. So, a lot of stuff to cover today, guys. I might go over my time limit, but I don't care. You know what? I decided, F the time limit. I'm going to do what I do and just go from there. So, start off with some late breaking news today. It looks like Jared Leto, who played the Joker in David Ayer's Suicide Squad, is coming back. That's right. A report from The Hollywood Reporter is saying that he is going to be part of the reshoots for the upcoming 4-part HBO Max miniseries, otherwise known as Zack Snyder's Justice League. So, of course, we all know the drama going on with Justice League. Was Zack Snyder originally was set to direct the film. He had to leave most of the way into production. I think it was pretty much done for the most part. So Joss Whedon came in, pretty much restructured the whole film how the studio wanted him to. People didn't like it, so people were screaming for Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League. And after several years, HBO and Warner Brothers decided they were going to give him the money he needed to finish his cut of the film, which is like a 3.5-hour movie or 4-hour movie, I think, which is why they're going to break it into 4 parts. They're going to do a couple of reshoots, a couple of ADRs. You got to add in the effects and sound and all that stuff. It's going to cost, I think they said like $60-80 million, which is more than most films' budgets to begin with, let alone to cut another version of the film. But anyway, I won't go into that. I'm excited for it, honestly. I wasn't a huge fan of the Justice League film. I'm not really a huge fan of, what Zack Snyder has done really with, the DCEU, as you call it. I'm a big Superman fan, and Man of Steel, I say now I have a love-hate relationship with it, where there are things I love about that film, but things I really hate, where I can't stand to watch that movie in some parts. Batman v Superman, I was not a fan of. By the time they got to the end of the film, I just wanted it to end because I thought it was crap. But then the Ultimate Cut comes out of Batman v Superman, an extra 30 minutes, a couple of things rearranged, and it's one of my favorite comic book movies ever, actually. Ultimate Cut, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice is one of my favorite superhero films, comic book films ever. Definitely my top 10. Why? Because you could tell that the theatrical cut was a Batman movie, even though it was supposed to be a Man of Steel sequel. When you look at what I hope Justice League will be, you have Man of Steel, the ultimate cut of Batman v Superman, and this Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. I think it'll make a really nice trilogy. As well as, my feelings on Man of Steel, it's not great. But I think that ultimate cut and this 4-part miniseries are going to flow real nicely into one kind of trilogy, which I think will be satisfying as a narrative. But anyway, apparently to do that, Zack Snyder needs to go back and redo some things. And Jared Leto, fine actor, of course. And yes, I was not a fan of Suicide Squad either. But again, it's one of the things that we heard that David Ayer, who is a more than capable director, I love the film Fury, which he did with Brad Pitt, and he did another one that I really like too, I forget. But he's a fine director, but, pretty much got locked out of his editing bay from what we all hear. So now people are clamoring for a David Ayer cut of Suicide Squad, which I believe would probably be better than the theatrical cut, because the theatrical cut, I think, is crap. But Jared Leto's Joker, when I first saw him, I wasn't a big fan, mainly because of the tattoos, and it was just... he looked a little too punk, I think, faux punk even, for me. But again, a good actor. I had no doubt he could, bring something to the role. The problem was, in the theatrical cut, you didn't get a good enough size of him to really get a judge of the character. A lot of people say they didn't like it. I think it's just because of the way, the film was edited. Even Jared Leto himself said he was cut from a lot of the movie, a lot of the stuff that he shot. And in my eyes, I always thought when you look at the trailer of Suicide Squad, he was going to be the villain. He was going to be the one that the Suicide Squad was after. Turned out it was Enchantress, actually, so kind of switched it. And I still believe, they should have kept it more simple with Joker. Maybe that's, what they can do with it. I don't know. That's neither here nor there. But anyway, Leto's coming back to shoot some stuff for Zack Snyder's Justice League miniseries. And that's fine. I think... much like with the Batman v Superman Ultimate Cut, let's, go in there and add some stuff to it to, again, make it a more expanded universe, more well-rounded universe, and let Zack Snyder complete his vision of what he wanted to do. A few people in the industry actually get to do that. And, the fact that Warner Brothers is letting him do it, I tip my hat up to him, sir. Despite my feelings about, Man of Steel and maybe some of Zack Snyder's other films, like I said, I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, that, this Zack Snyder cut, along with Ultimate Cut and Man of Steel, will make a nice little trilogy to sit down on a rainy day and just, breeze through a great narrative. So what do you guys think? Jared Leto coming back to shoot some stuff for Justice League. Did you like his Joker? Do you think he didn't get a fair shot like me? Let me know. dayspringdiscussions@gmail.com, Facebook group, and of course the Twitter account. All right, guys, next up on the agenda, we're stepping into the world of Star Wars. So... let's just lead off with this here. The Mandalorian is a little over a week away. That's right, October 30th. The day before Halloween, we are getting our first episode of Season 2 of The Mandalorian. And let's just be honest, okay? This is the one thing that is holding the Star Wars fan base together. My friend JR shared on his post a little thing about, a little train holding a big train. And, it was Mandalorian kind of trying to pull the Star Wars franchise aside. And if you look at it, if you look at, what Target and, Walmart and Disney stores are all, have, it's all Mandalorian Baby Yoda stuff. It's really what they're banking their entire Star Wars franchise on right now. And I could go into, my thoughts, I guess, on that and how there's much better stuff out there than The Mandalorian in regards to books and comics, but I'm not going to do that. But I will say is that we got another little look at The Mandalorian during Monday Night Football this week. And they announced that there was going to be another trailer really, with Monday Night Football. So all of us Star Wars fans were getting excited about it, of course. We had one trailer, waiting for another one, maybe, get a little more glimpse of some of these characters that are rumored to be in the next season of The Mandalorian. So comes out the special look of The Mandalorian on Monday Night Football. It's 60 seconds, and pretty much all the footage is stuff we saw from the first trailer. So I have two thoughts on this. One, okay, don't give anything away. I hate when a trailer gives too much away. That's fine with me. It's a week away. I don't need to see a bunch of stuff. I really don't. It's a week away. That's fine. But if you announce there's going to be a new trailer or special look or teaser or whatever, and just so you can get your eyeballs on Monday Night Football, so you can get all these geeks who don't watch football to actually watch football, and then you show them a 60-second trailer that's pretty much all footage that was already from like TV spots or the original trailer, that's some bullshit in my eyes. Okay, that was to get everyone hyped up for this and to not even make it 2 minutes long. Footage we've already seen. I mean, that's some big bullshit. I mean, that oh man, whatever. Okay, but yes, I didn't need to see this stuff. I didn't need to see all the little tidbits. It would have been fun, of course, but like I said, it's a week away. I know that the people involved with The Mandalorian, Lucasfilm, Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, you want to play it close to the vest. I mean, let's look at, the first season, Baby Yoda appearing at the end of that first episode, and everybody's heart melted by surprise about how this cute little creature could have been kept a secret for so long until that second we saw him at the end of the first episode during the premiere. So I have no doubt there's going to be some good secrets and surprises, maybe at the end of the first episode. But we did not get him in this trailer. And I think, announcing there was going to be a new trailer and really not giving us anything new is kind of a letdown in regards to marketing and a little bit of a tease, actually. But I'm excited for The Mandalorian, of course. I'm not in love with The Mandalorian as a lot of people are. I think it's fine Star Wars, no problem with it. I watch it, I enjoy it, but I'm just not excited about that. Honestly, I'm more excited for the High Republic comics and books that are coming out here soon. But that's just me, I get more excited about the Jedi and force-wielding stuff in regards to Star Wars than more like the Bounty Hunter Underground stuff. But I think there is room to expand, the myth of Star Wars. Obviously, Baby Yoda, or the child, as its real name is, being that it is a Force user, looks like Mando's going to go looking for some Force wielders to help him out. But now from this little teaser, he's got to find Mandalorians in order to find Force wielders. And immediately my mind thought, of course, went to Bo-Katan, voiced by Katie Sackhoff, who is another character who is kind of, rumored to be in this season. And it would make sense if he's looking for, Mandalorians and she's still around. She, being someone who was once the leader of the Mandalorians and wielded the Darksaber, would be someone he might stumble upon. And of course, she has ties to old Jedi such as Obi-Wan and Ahsoka Tano. And at this time, of course, we still don't know anything about Ahsoka Tano being in there. Nobody from Lucasfilm or Disney or anything has acknowledged or said, yes, Ahsoka Tano will be in there, even though people are just flat out thinking it's going to be true. If she is, whatever. If not, whatever. I'll deal. I'm going to be laughing pretty hard, though, if she isn't, and people are mad about that. But anyway, did you check out the new teaser? Are you excited for Mandalorian? My wife and I are going to be watching or rewatching Mandalorian Season 1 starting today. There's like 8 days, 9 days or something like that till Season 2. We're going to do one episode a night. Should lead us right up to Season 2. And hopefully it'll all be good, guys. But again, Mandalorian, your thoughts, share them. All right, guys, sticking in Star Wars news, it was announced last week as well that we're getting another holiday special. Remember the Star Wars holiday special back from 78, 79 that is regarded as a piece of shit Star Wars material? Well, the people over at Lucasfilm and Lego decided to have a little fun, and they have their own Star Wars Lego holiday special coming November 17th to Disney Plus. So if you head over to StarWars.com, the president franchise of content and strategy at Lucasfilm, James Waugh, was talking to StarWars.com about this and kind of what it is. And we know that, of course, we have other, heroes coming back for voice casting. Of course, we have Kelly Marie Tran as Rose Tico, Billy D. Williams as Lando Calrissian, Anthony Daniels as C-3PO. They're all coming back. And in this story, it is post Episode 9, which to me is the most interesting thing, that this is one of the few things we've gotten since the Rise of Skywalker that is post Rise of Skywalker. So the story in this one finds Rey continuing her Jedi training. She comes upon something mystical in a Jedi temple that sends her hurtling through time, meeting Star Wars legends and visiting places of the past, but still she must get back home for Life Day. And as I said, you have a lot of the sequel trilogy actors and actresses reprising their voice casting, as well as some other people from the past. Matt Lanter, who voiced Anakin Skywalker in Clone Wars, is going to be back as Anakin. Tom Kane, who voiced Yoda in Clone Wars, is going to be back, along as his voice of Qui-Gon Jinn. James Arnold Taylor as the lovely Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to be back. And, of course, D. Bradley Baker. So it looks like, Rey's going to do a little bit of time traveling. Almost seems like a little bit like a Christmas Carol kind of thing, where she's going through Jedi's past or the saga's past and, learning from her mistakes and maybe trying to figure out what the true meaning of Life Day is in the Star Wars universe. But yes, guys, this is Lego. So for any of you hardcore Star Wars nerds out there, remember, this is Lego. They always have a little tongue-in-cheek fun with it all. I don't think the Lego movies are particularly hardcore canon that, are written into the Star Wars Bible somewhere. They're just something to have fun with. So have fun with it. Don't take everything to heart and just, take it with a grain of salt. It's Lego, and as a guy who has several Star Wars Lego sets, I think it'll be fun to watch. Now, James Waugh, as I said, was talking and said, quote, "We find ourselves talking about holiday specials and the heritage of sitting down and watching holiday specials every year and how beloved and timeless those things are. When looking at what to do next with Lego Star Wars, it kind of went from there." He said, "I think the reason those holiday stories are timeless is because there are lessons, whether all of those specials are great or not, they're trying to warm you with a theme about being with your family, caring, loving others, being selfless. These are things that are automatically inherent to Star Wars. So we really wanted to anchor this with the idea of what is Rey missing right now? She is so focused on the burden of being the only Jedi in this new era and the duty of potentially passing on that knowledge. She's missing the point that there still needs to be time for you and your friends and the family you've made." This all sounds like gravy to me, a nice little holiday special. I mean, I'm a sucker for a good holiday special. I love me some Rudolph and all those old claymation ones. Charlie Brown Christmas, I'm a big fan of that one too. So if this could give me another great holiday special mixed in with some Star Wars Legos fun, gravy. It's all gravy, man. I'm all about that. Let's do it. So again, it's a little fun little thing with Star Wars Legos. Don't take it to heart, but it's going to be pretty interesting in my eyes. I'm going to sit my daughter down and watch this. I don't have high hopes. I'm not taking anything, too serious. It's Lego Star Wars, guys. Let's just have fun with it and say, "Thank you, sir. May I have another?" I think some fans, in whether Star Wars or any, franchise, take things a little too seriously. This looks like something that we can take, again, with a little bit of fun and, not be too hard about it and just kind of, laugh and be joyful and, experience the magic of the holidays to start it all off. November 17th, Disney Plus, Star Wars Lego Special. Are you going to be watching? Fire back on the Gmail account and, of course, Facebook groups. Let me know. All right, everybody, let's keep chugging along here. Before we leave Lucasfilm, gotta mention a little story that popped up yesterday. So we know from a while ago that Disney was looking to publish another Willow sequel franchise, something like that, sequel series, set in the world, of course, the classic 80s film with Warwick Davis, Val Kilmer, written by George Lucas, directed by Ron Howard. What I would call Lord of the Rings before Lord of the Rings came out. Of course, yes, the books of Lord of the Rings have been out way before Willow, but to me, this was kind of George Lucas's version of Lord of the Rings with all the swordsmen and sorcery and all that stuff. It's a great film. I still love it to death. My wife thinks it's a little weird, but paha on her. I don't care what she says. Anyway, new news has come out that it's been officially greenlit. Yes, we are going to get a Willow sequel series coming to Disney Plus. It's going to be showrun by John M. Chu. Ron Howard and Kathleen Kennedy are going to executive produce this. And of course, Warwick Davis is coming back as the title character of Willow. Said, quote, "So many fans have asked me over the years if Willow will make a return, and now I'm thrilled to tell them that he will indeed. Many have told me they grew up with Willow and that the film has influenced how they view heroism in our own world. If Willow Ufgood can represent the heroic potential in all of us, then he is a character I'm extremely honored to reprise." Chu went on to talk, of course, about the series, saying, quote, "Growing up in the 80s, Willows has had a profound effect on me. The story of the bravest heroes in the least likely places allowed me, an Asian American kid growing up in a Chinese restaurant looking to go to Hollywood, to believe in the power of our own will, determination, and of course, inner magic." Now, John M. Chu, best known for directing films that honestly I'm not a huge fan of. You have Step Up to the Streets, Now You See Me Too, Justin Bieber, Never Say Never, and G.I. Joe Retaliation. Let me see here on IMDb if there's anything else that really... Crazy Rich Asians, he directed that, so I haven't seen it, but I heard it's pretty good, so I'll give him some, cred for that. All the other ones, I'm sorry, I can't give you cred for those. So, not a big fan of this guy, but you know what? You're going to have Ron Howard and Kathleen Kennedy there to help out, so got to give him, a little bit of leeway, thinking he's going to be in the right hands when it comes to steering the ship. Now, of course, Willow... Like I said, I love Willow, grew up on Willow, great stuff. If you're interested, there is a novel trilogy, actually, that was published, I believe it's between 95 and 2000, something like that, called The Chronicles of the Shadow War. Now, it's written by George Lucas, who wrote Willow and, of course, Star Wars, and also Chris Claremont, who most known for his X-Men writing. He wrote the Dark Phoenix saga. I had the first book in this trilogy, and I never really got around to reading it. I always think I should. Maybe there's an audiobook I can find somewhere. Anyway, the sequel series was to take place years after the events of the Willow film and introduced all new kinds of characters and fairy queens and all these monsters and all this stuff, and Willow's kind of older. So whether they'll take anything from those books, possibly, much how like the Star Wars canon, the new canon, has, taken some things from the old expanded universe, which is now considered Legends, and bring it, to this new series. Possibly, I mean, it is, those books were written by George Lucas, who wrote Willow, and of course is a great storyteller. Other things such as director, yeah, we'll hold off on that, but there's no doubt that Lucas was a great storyteller. I gotta find this. I really should. I'm into audiobooks now. I have a lot of time to do audiobooks nowadays, so I should find an audiobook version of that if they have it, and I'll check that out, or at least something. But anyway, it's got me excited to do that. But I loved Willow. It was, like I said, I love it. It's so much fun. So if you guys love Willow, fire back on the social media groups and Gmail account. Let me know if you're excited for this. If you think this sounds like a stupid idea, I want to know. Let's discuss it, guys. Okay, and last thing on my list that I'm going to talk about today, it's morphin' time, guys. That is right. We are officially getting our reboot of the Power Rangers franchise. Jonathan Estwistle, is that his name? Hold on, I can say it. Jonathan Entwistle? Okay, I couldn't do it. Anyway, the creator behind Netflix's It's the End of the Effing World will helm a reboot of the Power Rangers franchise that is said to encompass both feature films and televisions, actually. Okay, so he said, quote, "This is an unbelievable opportunity to deliver new Power Rangers to both new and existing generations of awaiting and adoring fans. We'll bring the spirit of analog into the future, harnessing the action and storytelling that made this brand a success." Now, of course, it was last year when they reported that, they were looking to reboot this Power Rangers franchise. Power Rangers, going back to 1993, one of the longest running franchises in history as far as television series. And then you also have the 2017 film that came out, and it didn't do great. It grossed $142 million on a $100 million budget, which means it lost money. Even though, Saban, the studio that owned Power Rangers, was looking to make, a whole franchise out of it, didn't do great for it. So, they kind of passed on it. So it looks like they're going to have another shot at this. Growing up, yeah, I was a kid. I was into Power Rangers. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, when they first started, I was a fan of it. It was when that first film came out is kind of where I was coming out of it. Kind of the last thing I remember in regards to Power Rangers was the White Ranger appearing and the movie. After that, I kind of lost track of it, is what it was. But Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I'm a fan of. They do have some new comics out, I know, that started a couple years ago, I think, actually, by Boom Studios, I think is what it was. And some of them are actually pretty decent. So what they're going to do with this, it says it's going to be over film and TV. They have a lot of source material they can draw from. For me, like I said, I'm more preferenced to the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers because that's what I know. Everything else to me is just silly. I know they had the Turbo Power Rangers and Power Rangers in Space, and I think they still have some stuff, actually, is what it is. But like I said, the Mighty Morphin, that's my cup of tea. That's what I wouldn't mind seeing more of. How they're going to, cross it. Of course, like I said, they have decades of characters and source material they can draw from. Plenty of characters that they can cross through TV and film. But much like with the first movie, they got to make sure that they walk before they run, right? All these studios want that MCU money. They want that cinematic universe. They want that the billions of dollars that can come with interwoven stories, and that's great. But unless your individual stories, individual movies, unless those are actually, good with good characters and, make your audience care about what is happening to these characters, you're going to fail. So you can have these grand plans of multiple films crossing over, multiple platforms, but you got to give us a reason to care about all this. Give us characters to care about. That's what it's all about, and that's why the MCU succeeded, and other studios trying to start cinematic franchises didn't. So we'll see, guys. Like I said, I'm not highly interested in this, but my interest is piqued. There's plenty of mythology there to play with, especially, like I said, the early stuff that I enjoy. I'll keep an eye on it, and we'll see where it goes from there. But fire back, of course, let me know. I think, some of you are probably bigger Power Rangers fans than I am as far as post-Mighty Morphin, and I have no idea what happened past that. Sure, some of you did. Sure, some of you can tell me other characters and other things they enjoyed. What can I say? I was a kid when it first started, so by the time it really got going, I was kind of a little too old for it. But anyway, guys, that is it for me today. Fire back on the Facebook group, Twitter account, and of course, Dayspring Discussions at gmail.com on any of the topics. Or, of course, like I said, you can always comment below. Listen, tell your friends, of course. I do this because I love it, and really why I do it is I want to share my feelings with it, and I want to hear your guys' feelings as well. It's the community, it's about the love, the positivity, that something we all care about, brings us together, and let's just have a ball and have that joy in our lives, especially right now, guys. But that is it for me today. I'll do what I do, guys, and I can't guarantee that I'll stick to any recording schedule as I would like, because you know what, life happens, and that's all I can do. So, but anyway, I'm out, guys. Go out, enjoy your day, enjoy your lives, and until next time, may the force be with us all.